Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Julie Grant. Turning now to a disturbing case out of Kentucky where police rescue a woman who's chained to the floor. Yeah, you heard me correctly, chained to the floor. Suspect, this guy, Moises May is his name. He's accused of getting into an argument with the victim, grabbing her, forcing her to the floor while using a machete to chop off the majority of her hair. And then police say threatened to kill her multiple times before tying a metal dog chain around her neck and bolting her to the floor. Thank goodness this woman was able to break free, break open a window, and scream to the neighborhood for help. And this prompted some bystanders, some good people, thank goodness, to call police, who came to the woman's home to rescue her.
Non-injury call, and I can see
Hey, I'm trying to break the window down. I can't. Put the door down? Yeah. I got a bunch of loose. That was hot. Look at that boy. Which window she kick out? Where you see a ladder at?
I got a ladder there. The ladder was on the side.
Is anybody else in there? He did what? Is he Hispanic?
Yeah.
Where's the key at, man?
I know he's got it on his feet. And he's got it on
But there's no one else in here, right?
No, you can
There we go.
Thank you so
What kind of car does he drive?
My gosh. The person who did that to her needs to be chained to a prison floor. I want to bring back in my guest, our Court TV law enforcement expert, Joe Ested, in the studio with me, and criminal defense attorney Greg Isaac standing by in Knoxville, Tennessee for legal analysis. Oh my gosh, Joe, got to go to you first on this one, please. You've served as a police officer, and we thank you for your service and your military service as well. What goes through your mind if you're those officers and you respond to a call, going through that window and you see that woman like that?
All you want to do is just grab her, safeguard her, because you know she's in danger. The last segment, we seen where officers dropped the ball. This segment, we see officers doing exactly what they're trained to do. I love to see stories like this. You know, shout out to the community. Shout out to the community for calling police. So a lot of people say, I don't want to get involved. It's not my business. I love the fact that the community came together, called police, and the police made entry and was able to actually save this young woman. A lot of people was like, okay, how do officers kick in the door because there's no search warrant? Small window for officers when it comes down to kicking in the door without a search warrant, exigent circumstances that allows us to run in if someone's life is in danger. And they quickly assessed she was screaming, run inside and saved her. So I totally agree with you. This guy should be in prison. He should be chained somewhere to a cell somewhere because this is horrible. I'm so glad that the officers came and was able to rescue her. That's because that's what they did.
Exactly, Joe, you're right. And I'm impressed your knowledge of the law there. The exigent circumstances, as we learn in law school, right, Greg Isaacs? The exigent circumstances are the exception to the need for a warrant. You go in that house and you rescue the woman. Greg, you've seen a lot practicing in criminal court. This video, I'm sure, stunned you as it did all of us too, didn't it?
Yeah, often we see art imitate life, life imitate art. It looks like a horrible version of Pulp Fiction. It's deplorable, it's awful. You get a visceral reaction when you see the officers rescue this individual. And you know, if you're the prosecution, what you're doing is you're trying to sit here and get your statute books out from the state, the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and figure out every conceivable crime that you can think of to load this defendant up. And if you're the defense lawyer, you don't have a lot in your bag of tricks other than strictly holding the state to a reasonable doubt standard, because obviously there's no mental health issue, because you have to plan, you have to know what you're doing to methodically shackle, chain, and torture somebody in that basement. Thank God, you know, every day I get up and I make my living yelling about the Constitution and how it's here to protect us. This is a case that makes you thankful for exceptions such as exigent circumstances where they didn't have to wait for a magistrate to sign a warrant and go through the hoops. They were able to come in, as Joe said, the good guys. It's great to see law enforcement and the community let law enforcement know there's a problem and save the day. But what a horrible situation, Julie.
It sure is, Greg. Thank you for all of that. And to go back to what Joe said and also what you echoed, Greg, shout out to those officers in a beautiful job, well done. That had to have been terrifying for that woman. And they came to the rescue. They got her released as quickly as they could, got her to safety. Hopefully, they've been able to put her in contact with any services in that county that could offer her some, DV assistance in getting through the next few weeks, because there are going to be court proceedings. She's going to need counseling, all of that. And the neighbors, as you said, Joe, thank goodness people heard her cries for help. I mean, we live in such a fast-paced world, and sometimes you don't, people don't want to engage. Don't we see people like getting their cell phones out before they actually go to help? Yes. I'm sure that also was very helpful to those law enforcement officers too, to know where they're going, how to find this woman, wasn't it?
Yes, only information that the community gives you helps, because that's like a second person on scene that was there before you. So if you can get as much information from the people that's living in the community, you can save a life, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, they sure did. Just paying attention to your surroundings. You hear somebody screaming for help, call police. And as you said, they assured her everything was going to be okay, and thankfully they caught this guy who allegedly did this, and if he allegedly did it, hopefully he'll get the book thrown at him.